American tourist goes missing in the Rupununi. Teens busted for assaulting officer. And Exxon seeking contractors for GTE project.
I am Rico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. If you see news happening, send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Yesterday, an unidentified American tourist went missing after going on a fishing trip with an allegedly unlicensed tour operator in the Rupununi River area near Apatiri in Region 9. The police have begun their hunt for the missing man. With the death of a tourist recently at Orunduk Falls, and now this disappearance in the Rupununi, the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Oniaj Waldron Alakok, is advising tourists to use only operators that are approved and regulated by the relevant authorities. The body of land surveyor Jermaine LaRose was recovered in the Imbamadai region in a decaying state. His body was discovered last evening, 2 weeks after a boat incident on the river killed him and another land surveyor, Terrence Thomas. Last week, Thomas's body was found in the river. The sunk boat has yet to be found, and the GGMC has said that its officials in the region had no clearance to permit the boat to be utilized for transporting the land surveyors at the time. The incident is still being investigated. According to Kanu, yesterday its agents discovered 79.6 kilos or approximately $10 million worth of cannabis on the sea dam in number 78 village quarantine Berbice. The officer said a search for the owner or owners of the weed was unsuccessful. Also in Berbice, on Monday, the cops over there arrested 23-year-old Shemroy Patterson and a 16-year-old boy who were wanted in connection with the murder of Dexter McFarlane. Last Friday, McFarlane died after he was caught in the crossfire of a gunfight between two groups on Leung Avenue in West Rumfeld, Georgetown. These suspects have since been handed over to investigators handling the matter. After pushing to meet with GCOM for quite some time, APNU finally got a meeting with the Commission, only for them to skip it yesterday. According to GCOM's public relations officer, Norton said they never got the invite. It is expected that APNU wants to meet to discuss its concerns about the cleaned voters list and possibly even the revised list of electors. Nonetheless, the meeting was rescheduled for next week Tuesday. On a related note, APNU has registered its party symbol for the upcoming local government elections, but they have yet to confirm if they will in fact contest the polls. You're a hard-working truck owner. That's why you need only quality parts for your truck. But you might be asking, Noriko, now how will I ever afford them? Well, my friend, you need to go to Powered Automotive. They stock parts from Mack, International, Bedford TM, and all models of Cummins engines. Treat your truck right. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 6970171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Book and make top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. 2 teenagers were arrested yesterday for attacking a police officer who was working at a pedestrian crossing on Republic Road, New Amsterdam, Berbice. The assault, which was caught on tape, occurred after the teens refused to comply with the officer's traffic instructions. The University of Guyana has been making headway in baking bread using 25% less wheat flour. They are doing this in partnership with Banks DIH Limited. They have stated that the experiments were conducted using cassava flour and sweet potato flour, with the latter being preferred thus far. Professor Francis with UG stated that the Office of the President and NARI are also involved in the initiative and that a Caribbean conference on the use of alternative flours would be conducted in Guyana early next year. This, of course, will be a part of said presentation. Early this morning, 47-year-old fisherman Shivnarayan Ayana lost his home in John Village, Quarantine Berbice to a fire of unknown origin. He left late Tuesday night to go fishing in the Ockline Back Dam, only to return to find his home on fire hours later. Despite the fact that the firefighters responded quickly, the home was completely gutted. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa commissioned a $15 million agro-processing plant in St. Ignatius, Region 9 on Saturday. The renovated facility is planned to serve roughly 40 farmers and women in the surrounding area. Yes, they said 40 farmers and women. I don't know, I'm not going to ask too much. Anyway, the monthly output capacity of the plant is estimated to be 6,480 kilos of peanuts and cashew nut butter, and 50 kilos of dried fruits and vegetables. Now for today's oil update. Exxon intends to enter into a contract for the dewatering of an offshore pipeline, as well as the drying of nitrogen packing of an onshore-offshore pipeline system near Georgetown and offshore Guyana. According to a public request for information from Exxon, the company is looking for qualified organizations to carry out these services in connection with Guyana's gas-to-energy project. The US-based company CH4 Linzakaya is projected to build the combined natural gas power plant and natural gas plant facility. The project will be operated by an international corporation chosen through a competitive process. ExxonMobil expects to deliver the finished pipeline to the power plant by the fourth quarter of 2024, with the power plant commissioning and testing completed by the end of 2024.
As an independent online news entity, being politically objective can cost you a lot of money in lost sponsorship opportunities. That's because most local companies are often too scared to associate themselves with a news entity that is uncompromising with the truth. We do appreciate our sponsors, as their support is what has allowed us to maintain our integrity without fear and remain dedicated to you, our viewers. Every night, thousands of viewers rely on Uncut News because they are tired of the biased and poorly presented mainstream media in Guyana. But to truly compete, we need your help to grow Uncut News from being the most watched online news to the most watched news in Guyana, period. Help us by becoming a monthly subscriber today. There are special rewards at every subscription level, including your name in the credits, personalized gifts, and more. Your monthly contribution helps us to stay independent by spending less time worrying about paying the bills and more time on keeping you informed. So click the link in the description of this video and become a subscriber today.
It's November, which means it's officially robbery season. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even have drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Ground Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth mudrooms, no tires, TV, CD, stereo fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cars for $9.95 million, or pay as low as $1.99 million down with around $170,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peterborough Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them the Rico sent you for this sweet deal. Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. Last night I asked, how do you feel the government is doing when it comes to the Dutch disease? Are we actually preventing it? Lash said, while he didn't explain Dutch disease properly, he does have a point. Wanton government spending could indeed lead to Dutch disease. However, appropriate spending on diversifying Guyana's economy and appropriate policies aimed at growing and developing Guyana's human capital base could prevent the Dutch disease here. However, given the reality of Guyana's small and relatively underdeveloped labor force, the Prezi could have a point. It's either diversification or halting the expansion of the petroleum sector until we have the human capital. For me, though, strategic government spending shouldn't be halted. Indeed, I agree. I am not against prudent financial spending. I mean, obviously, it has to be done. But I do feel that you have to draw the line somewhere there. Although, good point about the Dutch disease, how it could possibly lead to it. Nevertheless, we will discuss it in a future episode. Bantu King says Ali is avoiding Dutch disease. But what about the racism and classism disease? Now for tonight's question. GPHC has recently had another death under questionable circumstances at the hospital. What do you think should be done to try to prevent these deaths from occurring? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Boltwood saying good night, folks.